Okay, so I'm gonna start this series to. I'm not sure who actually now. I might do. I found this new channel. I don't know why I never found it before. YouTube's the one that usually gives me all of my channel options. They like send them to me, part of my programming. So usually I'm a little hesitant when I come across new people. But anyways, this girl, Brianna Joy Gray is her name, and I really like her a lot. She's really good. And this show that they do is called Rising, Rising, Rising. And the guy Robbie on here, I like him too. I didn't even know what to call them. I guess they're being called lefties. They're to the left of politics. They call themselves progressives, I guess, at times. At times. Now, I'm not going to claim that I agree with everything that they say, but maybe that's only because it almost seems to me because they're so correct about everything that comes out of their mouth. Because now there's this new girl that I just watched a few videos with her in it, also works for Rising, and I'm trying to say her name. Limey, I guess, is how they pronounce it. She's really good too. And the things that I don't agree with them about, I'm finding myself having to sit back and rethink some of the ways I've been thinking. And I've done this several times throughout my life. I'm 53 now, and I bounce back and forth. I used to consider myself a liberal douchebag, and then after Obama, there was no way I can consider myself a liberal douche anymore, seeing what all the liberal douche were doing. Then I kind of thought of myself as being conservative, more or less, as far as my politics go. Again, never totally agreeing with what everyone said. Um, and now here I am listening to this girl Limey and this other girl Brianna. I'm in love with these girls, man. They are so good. It's unbelievable. So the things that so what's happening, what I've noticed about myself over the last few days of watching them, is that as soon as some of the things they talk about, I start listening and I'm tempted to shut down and say, oh no, they got that wrong. But then as I listen to them a little more and more, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I've been wrong all along, and I have to rethink some of these things. Um, so I have to start this series off. I'm going to start this series off. I don't know who I'm going to do it to. I may make the series to Limey, or I might make it to Brianna. I won't make it to Rising, but yet I am going to include some of their speakers. They're free thinkers. It seems to me, and they're just so fucking smart, man. And I hate using the word smart or intelligence because anybody watching my videos knows what I think of intelligence. So if this ends up being one of the first videos, I don't know if it'll be part one, part three, whatever, because that's the way I do my videos. I'm not an entertainer, but I am trying to get the word out to the entertainers about what it is that I have. And and if this breaks out to anyone that has thousands, tens of thousands, millions of subscribers, or will catch millions of views, then I think more and more people will be able to see it. And what I'm doing here, just to let you know, anybody that's new coming to this channel, or to Brianna and Limey, is I'm trying to show you that we can all see the true creator for ourselves. The true creator, the false creator slash creator. We can see it all for ourselves. And these videos that are on my channels, I have two channels: the Miguel Everyone channel that you're on now, and the Michael Oziak channel. I'll usually zoom in on the top of the page in order to show you those channels, which one I'm on when I'm remastering videos. Well, like right now, I'm going to go to this one here. This is Candace Owens series for Candace Owens. So on the top screen, you're going to see me run this video through. It's 38 minutes. I don't know from day to day whether I'm doing these. These are called research videos. That's what I call them. And as you can see by my channel, I don't have any subscribers. It says that on this channel, on the Michael Ozak channel, they claim that I have 123 subscribers, but that's not true. There's only like 2 or 3 people right now watching my videos, besides myself. And I'm gonna take a look through here. Yeah, it does look pretty good. Does look pretty good. So one of the things is, I could go right up to the screen while I'm making these videos, and I'd be able to show you things a little more clearly. And but the only thing is right now at the beginning of the series, I kind of want to bring you in on what these guys have to say as well. That's why you're seeing me do this with the camera, and I'm bringing it halfway through and halfway through, and then I'm leaving this little area over here where I'm gonna try sitting myself and create these videos this way. I don't believe in putting our images on any kind of a camera, whether it's for photographs or videos. I don't. I know for a fact that it's not a good thing.
Shouldn't kill.
So maybe I should come down with it. So I'm looking now, or I could put some, or I could put a filter on it. So just a little bit of explanation what I'm all about. What I'm trying to show you, Brianna, Limey, if you come to these videos, hopefully you will. I'm going to make you a 1 to 200 part series, somewhere around there. I'm going to use your talking points and your wisdom against you. So I'm going to use your own words against you, so to speak. This particular video that I'm on right now is Candace Owens series for Candace Owens part 20. And what I'm trying to show people is that we can all see the true creator for ourselves. We can see the false creator slash creator is what I call them. I put my own names and terminologies on everything, but of course, anyone that starts to awaken and is able to see this for what it is, then they can put their own terminology on it. I'm not stuck on any kind of terminology or anything. I'm also able to show you that you can go see for yourselves in your own clouds, trees, human skin, you name it, anywhere you want to go. You'll be able to see the evidence of the true creator and the true creator's builders. True creator's builders are all triangular shape. So even if I'm up at the clouds, there's several things that I'm real big on, and I like to stress them in every series, and I will try to do so appropriately throughout your series, the best that I can. Again, I'm not an entertainer. I'm just some dude. I'm a nobody. Um, when you realize how much of a nobody I am, and that's kind of purposeful, that I'm a nobody. I intentionally like to keep it that way. So the builders build everything in the images of feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. That was the true creator's original build. And the true creator, you'll be able to determine from the true creator to the false creator as we go along throughout these videos. I will explain more and more as we go along. But you can determine, understand what it is I'm showing you when during these videos, hopefully anyway. I think I do a pretty good job on it. I don't like to anymore overspeak to, in other words, talk too much to things. I'm going to press play on the upper video. So the top video, I'm going to press play. I'm going to reach over for a red filter. Everything that I'm going to be showing you in the True Creator's work. Now, these mineral streets that are being dropped out on everyone's heads, these mineral streets are a human function. These are a human. This is a human thing. There's reasons for it. I will explain it as I go along. The truth and reality of these things, these mineral streets that I call them, in other words, the these big long mineral streets that are coming out of the back of jets. Not all jets, just mineral street jets. I don't care about condensation trails. I don't care about what the CIA calls chemtrails. I don't care about any of that. The closest I will get to any of that is what United Nations tells you is geoengineering. And I made a few videos yesterday talking about it, and then those videos, it was probably something I did yesterday. I'm not going to blame the agencies, but the agencies are still following me around, and I'm being harassed by the government agencies for a long time now, for about 10 years. And the funny thing about that is I've only found the system, the true creator, the false creator, and slash creator. I've only found them for the last 6 years. So it's kind of strange that I've been being tracked and followed for more than 10 years, and it's only gone up in severity. And now it's even getting even harder. So I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a red filter. I'm going to press play on the lower video. Um, I will be putting myself on camera. I'm putting myself out there a little bit more, even though I'm against it. I'll explain why I'm against it. Um, And I'll just say at the start of this, so far, I've been watching you guys now for over a week. This guy, Robbie's a really nice guy, even though I don't agree with a lot of what he has to say. Limey, I've only been turned on to her for about 2 days now, and I think I've heard her before, but I'm really loving her too. Aside from being a beautiful woman, she's also very intelligent, and then so is Brianna, and they're able to stay calm and collective about it all, even though knowing that nothing they say is being considered by most people, which is very frustrating. So, I'm going to back this out a little bit more. I'm working my cameras. Now, I wish, like I said, I wish I could, and eventually I will. I'll just start going like that. I don't know. Maybe I will. But for the beginning of the series, I'd like to get, yeah, see how much nicer that is? Yeah, see, so when I back the camera back out, I'm wondering what I should do here. Just for these, fuck. I should just leave it and let it run through because it's really good. All right, what you're looking at here is what we call clouds, and nothing is natural. Nothing is what we think it is. Um, I hope that you'll come to these videos. I'm gonna start your series now, and I will start including you. I mean, you're both magnificent people. I'm so impressed. But then again, I've made at least 8,000 videos over the last 6 years, and going on 6 years, and I always say this about everybody that I've made a series out to. I like them a lot. And then by the time I get halfway through, they say so many things that go against what it is I'm showing you, so that gets frustrating. And then on top of that, in other words, people show their true colors. And then on top of that happening, um, they won't go look at the videos. So I don't know if my videos are being suppressed from them. I don't think so because I'm making 300 part series to people, and yet I never hear anything back from anyone. So that's also very strange. I may or may not add a filter, but I want to get into this. So here's Limey and Robbie.
Over 1,000 people in this country each year. Last year alone, police shot and killed 1,055 people. That's just counting who they shoot and kill and who they actually report as homicides, meaning George Floyd, Eric Garner, Elijah McClain, anybody police killed some other way but a gun, anybody like Ronald Green, whose murder they initially reported as a car accident, only for video footage of them killing.
Okay, I'm just going to point out here while we're looking at the clouds, I hit pause. But, as you can see in the what we call clouds, these are mineral streets that are flying all over the place. YouTube puts down in the bottom underneath my videos that these are called condensation trails by Encyclopedia Britannica and all that garbage, which you should know by now if you have even half a wit, which you obviously do, that everyone's full of shit. Google, YouTube, what's the new channel there? Everyone's trying to get everyone to go over to Rumble. They're all part of it. Every one of them. That's why I've not gone over to Rumble, because freedom of speech, my ass. They're full of shit. I mean, they're just moving people around from place to place. But anyways, so you're looking for the images in all these clouds. Now, there are thousands and thousands of images in here, and I could take the camera off, and I will later. But for now, eye, nose, and mouth down here, you can see the large face, right? This large face. Now, everything is collaged. Everything is collaged in here. So aside from pointing things out to you a little bit here and there, I'll point out to you, look for the triangular shapes. Look for the triangular shapes. Look for all sizes. Look for the triangular shapes. Look for the triangular shapes. Now, I'm using a green filter on the camera outside. I have no filter on this camera here yet. I can see all the other images popping through. I'm pretty good at being able to see this now, but that doesn't mean there's something special about me. There's nothing special about my eyes. I've tested this theory as far as who's able to see it. Is there something special about me? And the answer is no, there's nothing special about me, other than I'm willing to look, because no one else is willing to look. So what I'm going to tell you about, there's several evidences for what I'm trying to show all of you. The feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast is number one. Angles and distances of perspective is number two. Lights and shadows, I would say, is number three. All these things are going to come into play. So you'll see me with this cropping tool, which is just a piece of cardboard. Now, it's very specifically cut, because I know that triangular shapes, and the reason why I started using triangular shapes is due to the builders all being triangular. But what I've noticed, and I found this out in the moon first, and now I'm learning it in the other areas as well, is that this is the best angle. Is a sort of crescent. You can see the point of the corner is less sharp than this side is. I very rarely use this side anymore now, because what that's going to do for you is it's going to crop. And I do a lot of cropping, but what's happened is over the years, I automatically crop without explanation most of the time. And you won't even realize that it's happening, because I'll be cropping with the camera like this, and see how I'm cropping. But then what happens is I get other light comes in over here, and it fucks it all up. I can't do that. It's got to be like this. So I've learned all these little different techniques in order to be able to show it to you better and show you everything better, so people can see things more clearly. Another thing is image within image within image. So by coming down, I can get you the next face. See the next one? Asian face, it looks like. Yeah, it is. See, the one I was giving you up here with eye, nose, and mouth down here, I can bring my cropping tool in and bring it right down to the next one like this. Lights and shadows, lights and shadows. Another thing is, if I take my camera off my pedestal, I have more control. I have control over the lights and shadows, because I'm going up and down and changing my angles of perspective and distances of perspective as well, okay? So that's how you're going to most easily see all of the things that I'm about to show you over the next 300 part series that I'm going to make to you guys. And you're very easy to look at, so I'm going to have no problem making these videos to you. So far, I've not heard anything that made me want to shut the videos off or anything like that. Like, listening to Jordan Peterson or even Candace Owens or any of these other people I made series to, who I also liked when I started out when doing the videos. But then as I went along, I'm like, oh man, come on. If they're saying shit like this, then they're way to fuck off, and they're not, So far with you guys, I've only heard a couple things that I'm wondering if maybe I got it wrong. So, anyways, let's
In to
listen
emerge
in.
years later, they're not reflected in those numbers at all. It also doesn't account for people like Jacob Blake, who the police shot 14 times and paralyzed, but he survived. It doesn't account for any police brutality beneath death. It's staggering.
I just
Police
pressed
quite
play
literally
on
kill
the upper
somebody
video.
every day in America. Mainstream media just doesn't bother to report on it unless they have a video as heartbreaking as George Floyd's or as absolutely sickening as the body cam footage that was just released in the murder of Jayland Walker. Last week, in Akron, Ohio, police shot 25-year-old Jayland Walker 60 times and killed him after they tried to stop him for traffic infractions. Police claimed that Jayland did not stop and instead sped away, at which point the officers engaged in a high-speed chase where they claimed they believed he fired a single shot from the driver's window. When he stopped the car and got out, officers say they tased him, but he continued to run away from them. So they decided, in order to pursue this boy for a traffic stop, they would shoot him to death. 8 officers fired more than 100 shots at him. Think about that. They believe someone committed a traffic infraction. A traffic infraction. So that to them was worth a high-speed chase that would risk the lives of anybody on the road, and to then just need to get him so bad for these traffic infractions. They tased him and they shot him 100 times. 60 of those bullets hit him. That is a murder. They made an executive decision to kill him. You don't shoot someone 100 times thinking they'll survive. They literally riddled him with bullets for a traffic stop. They continued shooting even as his body lay lifeless on the ground, and then they handcuffed his dead body. Much like in May of this year, when Kansas City police told Leona Hale, a 26-year-old pregnant black woman, to get on the ground in a parking lot, and she told them she couldn't because she was pregnant. So they shot that pregnant woman 12 times and handcuffed her as she lay bleeding on the ground. She fortunately survived the shooting, unlike 21-year-old Drayshawn Reed, who in 2020, Indianapolis police shot 13 times and killed while on Facebook live stream, then stood over his dead body and said, "That's going to be a closed casket, homie," before handcuffing his dead body. For something so cruel, so unnecessary, and so unlawful, do you know what the consequences are? 8 officers murdered a boy for a traffic stop, and they are on paid administrative leave. Because this is routine. And in keeping with this routine, as is always the case when a black person is killed by the police, people who remain invested in a police state rush to vilify the victim and their actions. So in order to justify another police killing, let's discuss the law. In a case called Graham versus Connor, the court held that the question of whether an officer used excessive force requires careful attention to the facts and circumstances of the particular case, including the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others. The police weren't stopping Jayland for a violent felony or a felony at all. They weren't stopping him for a misdemeanor. In fact, they weren't even stopping him for a crime. They were doing a traffic stop for traffic infractions. There is a world where traffic stops don't warrant police to go on high-speed chases, where it doesn't warrant police to tase people, to shoot people, to kill people. And it's this one. It's this world. Did you know that in most states in America, police can't arrest adults for misdemeanor offenses without a warrant if they didn't witness the person committing the crime? Why, in that world, would it then be logical, sensible, lawful, or in keeping with a democracy that police be allowed to go on high-speed chases and tase and shoot people for traffic infractions? Why in that world does it even make sense that armed police officers be conducting traffic stops at all, especially when they repeatedly show us that they can't stop murdering people to do it? Do you know what would have happened if police had killed someone while chasing after Jayland? They would have charged Jayland with felony murder. Felony murder is a tool police regularly use to charge the people they were trying to arrest for the deaths of anyone the police recklessly killed while pursuing them. Felony murder is how Jagger Freeman was convicted of murder after the police shot and killed their own fellow detective while trying to arrest him for a robbery. Felony murder is why a 15-year-old Lakeith Smith was sentenced to 65 years in prison when he committed robbery with his friend and the police shot and killed his friend. Think about this. Every year, we literally watch videos of police killing people. And in spite of our own eyes, they tell us it's not murder and they shouldn't be
Red
charged.
filter.
But they'll gladly charge other people for the same murders they say weren't murders if we think for 1 second to hold them to the laws the rest of us are held to. To those who will say he shouldn't have run away from the police, I implore you to ask yourselves why a black man in America might run from the police. To ask yourselves why a black man in America might think a routine traffic stop could end his life. While you ponder it, I'd ask that you think of Philando Castile, Manuel Ellis, Maurice Gordon, Dijon Kizzee, or any of the countless black people who've met the same fate. To those who say he was armed, first, he was unarmed at the time police shot and killed him. He was running away with his back turned. A gun was retrieved from his car. Second, and most importantly, you need to decide once and for all whether you believe in the Second Amendment or you believe only that white people have Second Amendment rights. You cannot be the same people decrying government overreach, civil liberties, constitutional rights, and everything in between at the slightest suggestion that guns get more regulation to prevent mass shootings that have been perpetuated by young white men all over this country, to prevent children from being continuously murdered in schools. You cannot be the same people marching with your guns, taking photos like this with your guns. Now, insisting for the umpteenth time that any indication that a black person has a gun means police are justified in extrajudicial murders, even when they're legally owned, like they did to Philando Castile and Amir Locke. Why is it okay for police to kill black people if they even suggest that they think they might have maybe seen a gun? But yesterday, Robert Bobby Crimo, a white man, shot at least 30 people at a 4th of July parade yesterday, killing at least 6. And the police took him in without firing a single shot. And he also fled the police, armed with his weapons, after having killed people. Why are police so often able to take in even white mass shooters without harming a hair on their head? But 12-year-old Tamir Rice gets shot within seconds for having the toy gun. John Crawford gets shot and killed inside a Walmart for picking up an air rifle being sold at the store off the shelf. The city of Akron, like cities all over this country, have already shelled out millions and millions of taxpayer dollars on police brutality settlements because qualified immunity continues to protect police from any semblance of accountability while we continue to foot the bill. The city of Akron, like cities all over this country, responded to the police killing yet another black person by sending out militarized police into the streets to beat and arrest anyone who dare protest their continued killings. That, my friends, is a police state, and it's not making any of us safer.
Well, look, I have a lot of agreement with what you said. Qualified immunity must be gotten rid of. It's terrible. Individual police should be accountable for the things they do. And a lot of the examples you brought up, not all of them, but many of them, I agree with you 100% were horrific incidents of wrongdoing or murder where the police should be held accountable. I covered the Tamir Rice case a lot years ago. That was absolutely, you should have held that officer accountable. He was incompetent. That Philando Castile was murder. Absolutely right. That was just a black man who absolutely was exercising Second Amendment rights, did nothing wrong. So many of these I agree with. John Crawford, that was in the Walmart,
Ohio,
right?
Walmart,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that one was. Remember there was footage of that one, horrifying. Right. Look, with this with the case, you started.
You know, you guys got the platform. I think it's wonderful that you're keeping those stories in the press, that you're keeping them going. All the stories that you just told, 'cause they're horrible stories. But there are thousands of more stories. All those other numbers that you're reading off. Limey is your name, is the girl's name who I'm talking to right now. And I'm on pause on this video right now up here, and I'm listening to the video below, and all the numbers that you're naming off. I mean, it's really really bad, and I'm gonna try to put it through to you as I go along through your guys' series here about black humans, and I'm not black, I'm white, so it's hard for me to. I want to feel like I'm telling you something that I'm right now in this day and age. I'm not really allowed to speak to these things because I'm white. Kind of like I'm not allowed to speak about anything to do with homosexuality or gayness. either because I'm a straight male, and that kind of thing. So I try to find clever ways of doing so. Love listening to you talk. Love hearing. Do you bring? I like the fact that you're bringing this to everyone's attention, and keeping it there, because even these cases that are 2, 3 years old, and they should be fresh in everyone's mind, and they don't get any conversation. I mean, it's one channel, maybe Fox News, maybe CNN here and there will blurt something up. But you're talking about 1 or 2 minutes here, 1 or 2 minutes there of mention of these very serious issues they don't get any momentum. And I'll just to let you know the secret that I'm going to let you in on throughout your series is where black humans started getting fucked, because it was not the last 200, 300 years, it was thousands of years. And you guys got fucked a lot worse than, and I'll try to watch my language because I am a trash mouth. Um, but some swears need to be told here. Some swears need to be said. You guys got fucked over really bad. So which I'm sure you know, but I think that everyone's under the misconception that it's only been over the last 200, 300 years, and it's not. It's been a lot longer and a lot worse. So I'm going to try to show you some of those things. Now, saying words, using these human words that I'm using right now to speak with you, to communicate with you, nothing compared to what it is I'm showing you up here. And the information that will be given to you if you go and look at the True Creator system. If you go look at the True Creator's work and the True Creator system and you get to understanding it, I always say these little key phrases that I like to make up. I don't think I made them up, but I use them. Um, Go look at the system, see the True Creator, see the True Creator's builders, understand the work. Then go look at the false creator/creator, understand the work. Understand that the false creator/creator was the one that built the biosystem. The True Creator cares nothing about the biosystem, but both all should be worshipped and made worthy, and we should be aware of them and their work, because another cut has to come in play. The reason why I say that is because humans are responsible. Small group of them. In other words, maybe 10,000 all over the earth, spread out all over the earth. Maybe 10,000 of them. And they're responsible for all the human deception. And the reason why we go for the Bibles, the holy books, the religions that, you were just talking about on an earlier program, and I'm going to play that one in a minute. Um, so, in other words, there's just so many lies, it's hard to know where to begin. So I try to just stick to the main lies. I was just saying earlier, and I cut myself off, is I try to stick to these particular things: the True Creator, the True Creator's builders, the false creator/creator. Show you the false creator/creator's work, so you can understand between the both of them. And then I can show you how the builds were made and how they're still being made and that kind of thing. But what I wanted to say is that it's important. Fucking thing. I got videos that shut off on me. I don't have no one to help me, and then everything goes wrong. And then I get cut off, and then I don't remember what I was even saying, which sucks. All right, so I'm hitting play at the video again, on the video above, the one that the camera's on. Well, I think of what it was I was trying to say. I don't know. I don't fucking remember now. Again, and I got pissed off.
I understand why someone would flee from the cops. It's not a good idea. No one should do it. You're absolutely more likely to be wrongfully killed by the police if you run from them.
Do you know how many people though don't flee the police and they're killed? Do you know how many people call the police themselves? and they're killed.
You should try to limit your interaction with police to the. I mean, anyone should.
And that in and of itself tells us. But Robbie, let's stop on that point.
Yeah.
The fact that we know this happens, and our response is we should try to do all these different things because the police might kill us. We should try to limit our interaction. That is a problem. We shouldn't live in a world where the people that we hire, the people that we put our money into, the people we are
I agree.
we are afraid of them. We are trying to figure out how can we best accommodate our fears of them, our justified fears, and protect ourselves from what is an over policing response, which likely ends in murder. That shouldn't be the world. There shouldn't be a further from there. The fact that we know that
Yeah, but it took us a long time to get to this point that we're at now that is so terrible. It's unbelievable. And it took us a long time to get here. So, one of the things that I would like, and I'm hoping to see you guys, you and Brianna do in the next 100 videos or so, is acknowledge that fact that it's been bad for a long, long time. And it just keeps getting worse. And it's about to get way worse than you guys are acknowledging. So, as much as I love listening to you guys, there are some critiques that I will throw at you. But the thing is that what I was trying to think of earlier, and the video changed over on me, was that no words are needed. Words were the start of the lies because everything that comes out of a human's mouth, including mine, yours, now listening to you, and that's going to sound kind of strange because in one breath I'm just saying that I love everything you guys got to say, but you have to remember that we're all liars. We've been programmed to lie about absolutely everything. So we're maybe looking for truth or claiming that we're all looking for truth, but we are big ass fucking liars. So a good way to go around all the lies is to go ahead and listen to the human words, but go ahead and that are coming out of humans' mouths. But you got to be able to separate what you're going to be seeing from human words clapping their fucking lips, because what you're seeing says it all. You don't. It's not done. In other words, the answers in the true creator and the false creator and slash creators system are not human words, but it's all told. It would all be told. That's what I was starting to say earlier. Without saying a word, without saying a verbal word, just by looking at everything that I'm going to be showing you, the clouds, the moon, the trees, the ground, the rocks, the stone, just keep looking. Water, human skin are all the places that I like to go. And when I get you to that point, I hope you guys wake up. I really do. I hope so badly. And it gets frustrating for me because I'm a nobody. I mean, I've got 2 or 3 people that have watched my videos. It's been it's been 5 years or more. So, so it's not easy to keep going on like this. I'm chased down by, I've got 7 different agencies following me around, chasing me down for, over 10 years. They're getting really ridiculous over the last few months. And I don't know how much longer before they take me out one way or another. They've tried to set me up at least, I got evidence of them setting me up at least 7 different times on many different things. So eventually they're going to get me on something. So we'll see what happens. So far I've been able to get around them, but it's not going to be for very much longer. My equipment sucks. I press play 10 fucking times. It's still not playing. Why?
That is the biggest issue, is what I'm saying.
Well, look, I probably want less, certainly less military enforcement, less police enforcement of, yes, routine traffic incidents. I got a ticket last week for a speeding camera. Just got mailed to my house. No one had to stop me. I was pretty livid when I opened the mail, but
that's my thing.
More of that kind
and that can be done.
Just less in general of enforcement.
And that can be done. And so often, listen,
I agree with you.
I represent so many black people for traffic infractions that are not crimes. They will not be resolved as crimes, but yet the police chose to pursue them, to arrest them, to put them in jail, to have them go through the criminal court system.
You can't, if you're being pulled over, you have to be pulled over. You can't, and I would distinguish some of these incidents Like the killing of George Floyd, where it was wrongful because the situation, he was already he was already in custody. He was not a threat to anyone, and then they.
It should be get rid of the fucking cameras, not, oh, cameras will make it safer so that we're not killed by the police. It shouldn't be neither. This is all about revenue, making money for the townships. Has nothing to do about safety. And, you know, we've lost all of our rights over the last 50 years. And then, it's like constitutional rights, my ass. I was saying throughout the entire Candace Owens series, because Candace Owens believes that the Constitution is something real that we actually live by. We don't. It's only for some, not for all. And then those very few, because nothing ever works out. It all gets twisted and complicated, and it doesn't need to be that way. Um, if you don't have money to fight lawyers who are very expensive to hire, then that's it. You lose right away. And this girl that I'm making this video to, or these girls, I should say, they talk a lot about that. So I'll let them continue to talk. Again, I'll critique some things as I go in there.
Pressed him down and
How
beat on him until he died.
did we cover?
What I'm doing here on this screen, by the way, is I'm pausing and playing, pausing and playing. So I just paused there. Now, what I could be doing is I could bring in my cropping tool here, and I could start cropping images like this and bring you in on all these other ones. Now, this particular video, Candace Owens series, or Candace Owens Part 20, this is the video I'm on. It's on the Michael Oziak channel. I have another 100 parts to the Candace Owens series that is on the Miguel Everyone channel, and I might just designate them to you girls that I'm making the series out to now instead of doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play again on both of these. But again, if you go to these videos and you use your own camera, take your own camera in your hand, and you look in at the screen, you'll be able to have a lot more fun than what I'm doing here now. And then once you do that remaster, then you'll understand that you can go out to your own environment and just look around and with your own camera and do the same exact thing that I'm doing, so that it sinks in a little bit better than just watching someone else do it.
When someone's fleeing, when someone's running, I'm not saying he should have been gunned down or even that the interaction should have occurred at all, but it is wrong to flee from the police.
Okay,
You
first
should
of
not
all,
do that.
It's wrong for police to murder people. In a world,
yes.
no.
It's you go take it a step back. It's wrong for the police to even pull people over. It's wrong. All these traffic bullshit stories and people going to jail for traffic infractions and misdemeanors and all that. It should be it's totally unnecessary for all colors. But particularly blacks have gotten fucked more than any other, race. The darker you are, the more likely you are to end up with problems with the police. It's been that way for a long fucking time. And it's not right. It's not fair. And everybody knows it. They just pretend that they don't. Oh, no, there's a million excuses for why it is that way. But we watch them militarize our police all through, Bush under all these fake acts that we had and executive orders and all this shit. I mean, it was all right in front of our faces the whole time. So who are you going to blame, right? That's why I say 7.8 billion zombie slaves, because I'm not going to keep blaming our governments or the elite, the ones that are controlling us, right? I can't keep blaming them, because if 7.8 billion people are all sitting back and watching this happen and don't do anything about it, then that just encourages the rest of them to keep enslaving us. Yes, we want to be good slaves. No matter if you're in a communist country where you say, okay, we'll be good slaves, or you're in a capitalist country where we want to be programmed to be good slaves and say, yeah, we love being good slaves. Yeah, we love being good slaves. Go ahead, put cameras in every fucking corner. You got camera access on every home. Everywhere you go, there's cameras on everyone's homes that are aiming all over the fucking place. So if you have access to every camera on every street, everywhere you go, which they do, you knew this was all coming. This was the smart cities that you guys were just talking about the other day on another video, which I'll try to get to, later.
Hear me out. There's no reason why, and that's the problem with this society we're having now. There's no reason why in a story where we hear that police pursued someone and shot someone 100 times, 60 hit them. Why are we focusing
What
on
about these?
whether
You mentioned some of these were robberies. Yes, I do think the police should
those are
arrest people for robberies.
we're talking
I just want to mention, in the true creator's work, there is no up, down, left, right, backward, forward, in or out. It's all one. The true creator's work is all one. Time is all one in the true creator's energy. Everything is all one. Keep that in mind as we go along.
you're talking about Lakeith Smith and Jagger Freeman, right? I wasn't talking about whether or not they should be pursued for robbery. I'm talking about the fact that in pursuing them for robberies, police then decided to kill other people and then charge them and hold them responsible for those murders. That's what the topic of discussion is.
I don't know that
It's the way
I
we
don't know that I'm
weaponize-
against that.
Whatever. The way
should
we
not. You should. We want to disincentivize robbery.
do we
certainly.
want do we want to incentivize police murdering people in the course of conducting of pursuing?
You don't want to disincentive. Why would you want to put all the emphasis on the robberies, right? You don't. It's unnecessary. Like I just said about the cameras. The cameras are fucking everywhere. So a robbery can just be taken care of days later when everybody's, calm and relaxed. And hey, we got you on camera. We got to pick you up. We got to take you in. We got you on camera here. We got you. If it was all meant to help each other and to help ourselves, then that's what we would be doing. We wouldn't be doing these grand takedowns, and only of certain people, because bankers are not getting arrested for fucking robbing people and stealing from everyone. I'm doing a series right now that I'm working on, another series called Garden Homes of 221B Baker Street. And that series is to not only the agencies that are all involved with following me around everywhere and tracking me and trying to set me up, but also to do with a conglomerate type figure who I used to work for, who is a multi-billionaire as far as his assets go, and I watched this guy take a lot of lives. He's real, and it's not a joke. I mean, these guys are real fucking scum. And if they don't realize and recognize their own scumminess of what they're doing and how they're doing, and you think to yourself, how? And a maintenance job, apartment complexes, and things of that nature? Yes, yes. Even in those apartment complexes, yeah. We could go back and we could compare it to Donald Trump's father, right? The way that he treated the people